which he has. He's got Catchins, he's got the Inferno Pistol. He's now got Melter Storms. He can take out that squad if he can isolate them. So yeah, it would have been a good purchase for him, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, the crossbow pot would have, the crossbow pistol would have had the same effect. Obviously, yeah, he will lose the DPS, but it depends what you're valuing more, the DPS or the snares.
Yeah, I mean, I guess giving a squad of Terminators could really change that game.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said again with the Guardsman squad, I'm not quite sure why he never bought a Sergeant. That's really strange. Maybe he just didn't notice, but I'm not too sure about that one.
He had the requisition for it many times, and it's just for me, it's a no-brainer because like the 85 rec. Like, he's going to get an extra model every time he reinforces. His squad's going to be bigger, it's going to have more HP, and he's only going to need to lose about 5 or 6 more, it's going to pay for itself after he's lost about, 5 or 6 models. The maths, I haven't worked it out, but maybe a bit more than that, but, he must have lost about 10 models there that he could have, for that cost of reinforcing those 10 models, he could have purchased a Sergeant upgrade, saved him that cost in the long run, and had the extra HP and, have the extra survivability of the squad on the field. So, like you say, it's a bit of a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he didn't do it. And also early on, with those Guardsmen squad, he had an opportunity to jam bash with the Sentinels Guardsmen, but he kind of never really purchased the Flamer until later on.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, I can understand why why you wouldn't want to go with a Flamer if you definitely want to get Plasma, because Plasma is going to be much better against the heavy infantry of the Space Marines. But if you're going to go ahead and buy the Flamer anyway, then buy it rather than capping the point. I think once he's had his gens bashed, I think the biggest priority, rather than capping that top VP, is slam a Flamer on those Guardsmen, down that power farm, and get yourself back in the game and even up the stakes. Because he was ahead in power anyway, and if he'd have taken out RiceMuncher's power, then it would have evened up a bit, and he would have gone to tier 2 at pretty much the same time, or close to the time that RiceMuncher was going.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's have a quick look at the stats here on the stats screen. So level 5 Tech Marine, he was being ultra annoying, ultra useful, lots of building use. He does synergize really well with using buildings, due to his range DPS. So wow, 38 units killed and 70 lost for the Inquisitor, but Guardsmen are pretty squishy.
Yeah, there were a lot of that was heavy weapons models and stormtroopers and Catchans.
Yeah, that heavy flamer from the Terminators wrecked through some models in late game.
Yeah, definitely.
And a massive disparity in the power. We see, wow, 350 or something there, round about 350 difference in power.
349.
Right, okay, close enough. And yeah, wow, requisition as well. My brain.
700 difference.
Yeah, 700. So real kind of disparity between the resources there. So RiceMuncher's extra scouts really doing him favors there in being able to push Meteor off. I guess in response, Meteor he did have the requisition many times. Could have purchased an extra Guardsman squad when he hit tier 2 just to use them for capping.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Any last thoughts from you before we go into game 2?
I'm just interested in what Meteor's going to change in game 2 and whether RiceMuncher will stick with his same build. I really do feel that Meteor could have made a few different choices with his war gear, and also, yeah, as you said, attacking Guardsman squad possibly for the map control. The other thing was that Sentinel which he built. I mean, apart from the occasional stomps, it didn't really do a great deal. And he spent 40 power in tier 2 to purchase a missile launcher didn't really do anything, and it died soon after, so...
Yeah, I mean, a nice tactic that I've seen from high-level play of Imperial Guard is just, sticking a multi-laser turret in someone's gen farm and just letting it destroy the gens. I mean, yeah. Maybe not as useful against the flame attack because they're just going to down it, but if you can get a nice multi-laser in their gen farm or on your gen farm to defend it, then that's always useful. And like you say, Sentinels aren't that great against heavy infantry like Space Marines. Stomp is pretty good, but a single Sentinel on its own, I feel. I played a little bit Imperial Guard. I've started to move away from Sentinels because I feel in tier 2 they just become a liability because you're going to lose them, and there's your 330 rec. gone, and they are scalable in the fact that you can buy extra armor and you can put missiles on them, but they're pretty much like a resource sink because you're gonna lose them. You know, if you stick extra armor on it and you stick a missile launcher on it, and you know you can micro it to the best of your abilities, but you're gonna have to babysit that thing a ton, and eventually it's gonna go down. And with all that extra resources you've just pumped into it to keep it alive, you know, for an extra couple of minutes, just isn't worth it for the gains that you get.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And the only real use it comes into in Tier 2, if you're not going to purchase a missile launcher just for the stomps to keep off sort of, you know, melee jump troops, but RiceMuncher never went for ASM, so...
And you just spend like half your time just repairing the damn thing just to keep it in the fight.
Yeah. I do feel that MeteorVsBunny, and say maybe in Game 2 he might purchase the Manticore and sort of crossbow bolt pistol and go over a more traditional build. Might work out quite effective, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you know, with those double Sentinel builds that we saw from them, I mean, those really target and centralized around really just pushing the hell out of your opponent early game and trying to force the game out before he got got a foothold in the game. So I can see why Sentinel play is good, but you really need two of them to really push your opponent hard, and that's going to be really tough versus a Tech Marine.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to work against a Tech Marine, especially not as effective as it would against other races.
Alright, cool. Well, let's see what Meteor tries to do in Game 2, so thanks for watching Game Number 1.
La 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 la